Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Barre Beat Podcast, live from Aired Out Studios, Main Street, Barre, Vermont. With us tonight, we do have the lovely Raylene.
Good evening.
We do have Gina scheduled. However, she's in transit right now, so hopefully we'll see her later in the show. But we've got plenty that we can discuss today. That's for sure.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yeah.
So I mean, we can just jump right in and go over the consent agenda that we had this week.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we have is the authorization of certificate of no appeals for suit pending form PVR 4155 for filing of the 2022 Grand List. Ooh, exciting.
Yes.
So all that means is we don't have any pending lawsuits, no appeals, and we can just file the Grand List.
That's a good thing.
That is a very good thing. And then, of course, on there, we do have a authorization for to apply for the Department of Homeland Security grant. That's going to be a 250. I'm thinking of the ARPA funds.
Uh-huh.
$125,000 to buy mobile home radios. Mobile home radios. Why would I say mobile?
I'm not really sure.
What am I talking about?
Right. Have you been like getting into any of JD's stuff? You know, like drinking anything or
Drinking out of his nasty coffee cup.
yeah, because I think it has rattled your brain just a little bit.
We're gonna show everybody.
Oh my God!
Should I show?
Well, you can, but holy cow!
You think he'll get angry with me?
No, I tease him about it all the time. I show people that all the time. Like I'm telling you, that will make that could possibly be why you're stumbling on your words if you drank from that. I'm just saying.
That's nasty. I'm just going to point that out that is super nasty.
Oh, goodness. Anyways, so we are spending that money getting a grant to buy what now?
They're mobile radios, and they are P25 compliant because the current ones we have are not P25 compliant.
Mm-hmm. And that means what? Am I not supposed to ask you that? I saw that like sheepish grin and this look like, don't ask me what P25 is.
So, funny enough, I actually went in. I was like, P25? What the heck is P25? Is it like? I mean, I don't know what P25 is. Mm-hmm. So anyway, P25 radios are direct replacement for analog UHF, typically FM radios, but add the ability to transfer data as well as voice, allowing for more natural implementations of encryption and text messaging.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to drop the Wikipedia link right in the comments for folks. So you can take a look at that and learn for yourself because I have no clue what it's about. I just know that it's $125,000 we are getting from the government.
Right. And hey, anytime that we can get money from the government, right?
That's right. Anytime we can get it from the federal government is always a good thing.
Right.
Of course, another thing that we have on, and I'm sure we'll be able to sit here and chat about this for a little while, is the TIF extension. As many people know, our tax increment financing is actually coming to an end. The debt accruement time period is coming to an end, and it will be. There's a bill in. Either the House or the Senate somewhere. I think it's the Senate because Keisha. No, I said it wrong. Keisha.
Yes.
Keisha Ram. Oh, my goodness, Keisha. I'm so sorry. It's Keisha. I believe she is sponsoring the bill to extend the TIF. I'll tell you, it definitely makes a difference having somebody on city council that can actually, make contacts with people and get things done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to give Tom credit for that. But yeah, there's going to be a question about, well, it's actually in the consent agenda that we're going to move forward and try to get that extension, because there might be a possibility that we could have another TIF project come up, which would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course there's on the consent agenda the special community development warrant transfer ACCD grant funds to Down Street for the recovery residents final draw. And we're just a pass-through.
Mm-hmm.
The city just gets the money and then gives it to Down Street. It's
right.
a $500K from ACCD, so Jake will not be able to participate in that vote because he works for ACD.
Right.
ACCD doesn't work for ACD. What's ACD? No, that's ACD.
Yeah.
Yeah. ACD.
I thought you were right.
Well, it's ACCD.
Yeah.
Agency of Community and something development. I don't know. Man, tonight is going to be fun.
I guess so. You're tongue-tied.
I know, right?
Yes.
And then, of course, we're discussion on the letter for Green Mountain Transit. Are you familiar with the bus issues?
I am, and I've been listening to them, and I know that you guys have gone back a couple of times, and you've been talking to a local resident, Jesse, who I believe is helping as well. Did he help draft this letter? Is that how I understood it?
He definitely was involved. I don't know if he helped draft it. I want to say it was Michael and Teddy, and I can't remember. But I mean, it basically says put the service back to where it was within the next 30 days.
Right.
So that'll be interesting to see how that goes down. So that's our.
Well, I hope that it moves forward somehow in a much more positive way than it has been, because I mean, they're not holding up their end of the bargain, and they did come to the table not that long ago and said we're going to be fine really soon, and everything's going to be picked back up exactly the way it was, and that isn't the case.
Yeah, how do I say this? Not overly excited. I don't really generally like getting involved with other entities' decisions. However, Barre City gives them like $38,000.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
At that point, there's ties and strings attached to that. So, if you take the money, you're going to deal with us.
And you have people in your ward, I'm sure, that use that service and are
absolutely
going without because of the inadequate coverage. And
Jesse is in my ward, although I think he now has a car. But either way,
he does. He talked about that, but yes.
Either way, it's like, $38,000. I don't know. All there is to say about that. So hopefully they can fix that.
And then are we going to discuss at all the partnership tomorrow night and what is going on with the partnership and downtown Barre in general, I guess? Because when I think of the partnership and Barre area development, I think of downtown Barre in general. I mean.
Yeah. Actually, I got into a little spit spat with the little tissy fit,
I guess you can call it that if you'd like,
or pissy fit, whatever, between me and the mayor, because I'm fully on board with voting for the partnership today. I've didn't want to sell the building, and then when the partnership came in, asked us to pump the brakes. I was like, okay, let's pump the brakes, and yet we were like, yeah, let's go.
Right.
The city council was
right,
and they went.
Well, some of the
forward.
City council, you can't say
correct.
Everyone,
correct.
But, because there are some that very much support the partnership.
Yep. They came in with an offer, and I'm only telling information that was reported in the newspaper, which if you don't have a subscription to the Times-Argus, you absolutely should get one, because it's very important, the information that they have in there. But that being said, they discuss the plan. It's going to model the People's Health and Wellness Clinic and what they did. And they had like a tax stabilization plan. After 10 years, it goes on the full tax rolls. And it's a graded plan. And of course, they mentioned in the newspaper article that it would be less than the asking value, right? We listed it at $155,000, which now, based on an email that was sent to someone not on city council, that talked about it, apparently the information is out there that there is other bids, according to that email that I was read to me because somebody was being, anyway, whatever. So that's going to be interesting.
So there are other bids.
According
Supposedly.
to the email
Right.
that was sent to a Barre town person. And according to that email that was sent. So we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. I myself don't understand because, well, for one, what it brings here. When we think about even let's just say the concert in the park, how many people come from all over? I mean, I used to drive down when I moved to East Montpelier, drive from East Montpelier to come down to the park and watch the concerts and have something to eat. And, that meant that sometimes I stopped in town and had dinner somewhere or grabbed a pizza, something to go to bring over to the park, bought gas when I was down here, did other things. And it brings so much to the city.
Yeah.
It really does. Every event brings people from all over, not just from here. The concerts, everything.
Yeah. It was, we had the conversation 2-3 years ago, or might be 4 years ago. I can't remember, about the partnership. And at that time, the Wheelock building was empty. And we were like, hey, let's put the partnership in the Wheelock building. And it was a perfect fit, right? It's a cute little building. And the partnership is our downtown. That's right in the center of our downtown. It just worked. And we became landlord by default. But the thing with the partnership is that they are extremely connected to the city because we fund their operating budget, right? And then Tracy gets
along with the town.
Well, yes, the town does provide a little bit, but I want to say they're $7,000. I might be wrong on that. I know we supply the majority of it, but I mean it's a well-worthy organization of the money that we supply. They do a really phenomenal job,
and they bring money to the city and vitality to the city,
in vibrancy, absolutely,
which we need in order to attract other things here.
Yeah, and it's really frustrating. I'm not going to lie.
It is frustrating. It's very frustrating. And years ago we had information booths here and there. Do you remember having an information booth? Do you know where it was?
It was right down by
so
Grand Union.
Those don't exist anymore. Right. Every once in a while there would be an attendant in there that you could talk to or whatever. But and they had the little pamphlets of what was going on, and not just in Barre but all over the state of Vermont, whatever. Now you can find that on a placemat at the wayside, or just inside the door or whatever. But I mean, that's our information center. It's open. People can go there. They can get, and then she's so good about maintaining the Facebook page and advertising. And I don't know. It's a shame to think that we can't put a little effort into what she does or what the partnership does.
I mean,
the whole
Tracy
partnership,
definitely
yes.
has
I mean,
brought it up a notch.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. But I mean, even before Tracy, there was, let's see. So it started with Dan Jones, I think, and then they went to Josh Jerome, and then Jeffrey Tupper Giles was Tupper Giles. If he heard me say Tupper, he would be really angry.
Well, he'll get over it. He'll let it slide.
And then it went to Tracy, and I've been super supportive of the partnership ever since.
For as long as it's existed, pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, we need it here.
Absolutely. But it definitely feels, and straight up, it
feels personal. To me, it feels personal. It feels very personal. It feels like it's not about the partnership as a whole and what they do. It feels personal to me.
Same thing with BADC.
Agreed.
Right?
Yes.
BADC is getting a lot of flack from our council. And if it were 2-3 years ago, I would say it was kind of well deserved. Before Cody, when Cody came to the BADC, he kicked it up a notch.
Yeah, and now we have MA who's trying to kick it up another notch.
Exactly. And
Shannon.
She's doing a fantastic job as well. And so isn't Shannon, obviously. Folks, there is so much in this conversation about BADC and the partnership that is completely unknown to the regular folks that it's just bizarre.
Well, and the give back from those two entities is huge.
Yeah.
And so why it's being ignored doesn't make a lot of sense, except for the fact that it's personal. It just seems like a personal issue and attack.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I really wanted to be a dink, I could say maybe there are some that aren't being so equitable about the partnership and
yeah. That's for sure.
Barre area development. I mean, they're not really, we have these fierce women in leadership roles that are doing a really kick-ass job, and maybe that rubs a few of the men the wrong way. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying all men, because I know that some of you are not like that. I know that, you would cheer them on. I know that Tom would cheer them on, and I don't know. Maybe that's. I don't want to. I'm just speculating there, but I'm just saying that we have. Let's face it. There's a few women in these positions that are take no shit kind of women.
Yeah, that's true. So I actually sent an email last week regarding the partnership in the BADC, and I actually made the comment that we should probably just have a conversation about what our levels of support for both of those entities are. As we're going into the election, my thought is, guess what? We should know what our elected people that are running know where we stand on these issues. But
right, and why can we talk about that? Can we talk about the fact that they're not supported? I mean, they are absolutely not supported by the mayor, either one of them, either the partnership nor Barre area development. They're not. I mean, he's made that perfectly clear.
Well, he made that rather clear in an email to me recently. So, not that clear. I shouldn't say that. There was
and at a school board meeting,
but
at a school board meeting, that was very
Correct.
public and very real. And I mean, he thought that giving them money was
the BV crowd is going to come after us like tomorrow.
It's okay. I'm here I am, Barry Values, take your best shot. That's all I got to say about it. I don't care. I have values too, and I lived here my whole fucking life. I played it simple, straight up. I've lived here my whole life, and I have great values. My parents taught me them, and I have respect for. The thing is that anybody in Barry Values, I have respect for them because I have respect for their opinion. Have an opinion. I'll respect you. You respect me. So straight up.
I should point out that our shows are now streamed on Central Vermont CVTV, and we want to let people know that the show can get a little mouthy with the language.
With me.
Not intentional.
It's
not
because
intentional,
of me.
Not intentional. But
no, Michael will never say a cross word, but I can never promise you that because I can't help myself sometimes.
So if you got kids watching, just be forewarned.
Listen, you didn't tell me anything about
I know,
the
I forgot to tell you. We started uploading them.
But listen, but in all seriousness, I mean, I am being genuine and serious as far as this group that we know about. I mean, we all know about it now. It's plain and simple. This group called the Barre Values that wants to dictate their values, but they're not my values. And so I want to be extremely respectful of them. If I see you on Main Street and you believe one way, that's great. I will respect you. But you have to respect me too because I live here. And that's...
And we're just speaking our thoughts on the Barre partnership.
Just my thoughts BADC. About it is that they could give a lot, and they give a lot to even those people that are in that group. I've seen some of those people down enjoying a concert in the park or at the farmers market or at the Heritage Festival or, eating cotton candy with their kid on Main Street and enjoying the parades. We all enjoy the same things.
Yep.
And those things are brought to us by the Barre Partnership. How are they going to exist otherwise? Is the Barre Values going to start putting them on for us? Because
I don't know.
We need some vitality around here. I'm just saying.
I agree.
And saying that the mayor does not support either is not going off base because of statements that I've heard him with my own ears say in meetings.
Yeah. It's frustrating. I'll just say that. It's really frustrating. I'm sure we'll probably have that conversation.
Michael wanted to talk about this, and now he's going, oh my God, why did I do it? He's scared to death.
I am terrified. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little terrified.
Well, you shouldn't be. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Connie, you'll have to... Connie's asking what's with the Barre Values crowd. There's a Facebook group that is
it is a group of men and women who have some core values and beliefs that they would like to introduce to members of the Barre City, Barrytown community. However, it is a closed group. They monitor things that you do and say, and if you align with them, you're allowed to get into the group. You could look them up on Facebook, and you can ask them to join the group, and maybe they'll let you in, and maybe they won't.
Yeah.
Right.
They won't.
But if they won't,
that's all.
But
good.
That's okay because you have this group right here
right,
that is accepting of anybody and everybody because we would accept them into our group. We're not going to tell. We've actually invited a lot of them here to do shows with us.
Yeah.
And that's something that has always been denied.
Yeah.
Not by us, by them. So, that's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is. That's all we can say is that, and they don't like us. We know that too. They do not like us. And that's why Michael gets all worried when I get mouthy.
I do. I'm a little concerned, but at the end of the day, we're an open group.
I have talked to some of them. I actually have a good relationship with a couple of them.
As do I.
And
some of the less militant members I have friendships with.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I really do. And I have a lot of respect for the ones that I am acquainted with.
Yeah.
A lot of respect. So.
Well, that being said, we probably could get into, since that's a nice segue as we're talking about supporting the partnership and blah, 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 and the
Article
BADC.
7.
So I'm just going to tell people, for those that have gotten their mail-in ballots, this is what you, after you open it up, this is what you have, and you will take out your ballots. No, mine is not filled out, although I'm more than willing to tell people they should fill out the school commissioner ballots, director. So you will get another envelope inside. This envelope it has your name on it. It has, City of Barre, or it will have the town of Barre. And it has your signature and your date. You need to put both of those, and you want to make sure that you do your signature and your date on it.
And that happens whether you're dropping it off or mailing it.
Correct.
That has to be on the outside.
Correct. If you're just dropping it, you need to make sure that you fill that out. And then on the inside, what you'll put in there are the ballots. On the ballot this year, so for example, I have counselor races, which Ward 1 is going to be Tim Bolton and Amel Shambel. Ward 2 is Teddy Wazak and Rosemary Averill. Ward 3 is going to be Tina Ruthier and Sam Stockwell. And then you've got your first ballot item, which is the city budget. Shall the Barre City voters authorize the general fund budget of $13 million, blah, 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 blah. Yes, that's right. They want black ink, folks. So when you do fill it out, make sure you use black ink, not paper. Absolutely want to do that. So the Article 1 is about the budget, the city budget. That is, I want to say it's a 4.9, somewhere around there, % increase. Then Article 2 is authorize $403,000 for street reconstruction. Article 3 is withdraw the Central Vermont Public Safety Authority. So let's stop there for a minute and just discuss what that is. So the Central Vermont Public Safety Authority, it's actually really sad that we're voting to remove that. It's a dream that we had a long time ago to regionalize our public safety, and it never came to fruition. And so the board said, you know what? It's not happening. Let's dissolve. And the way that you have to dissolve is that you have to go through the process, which is withdrawing from the Public Safety Authority. I don't know if you have any comments you want to make on that.
Not really.
Not really?
No.
I'm not going to lie. I'm actually very sad about that. To me, it kind of feels like we're losing something that we worked hard. Well, I say I didn't work hard on it. Other people worked on it. I remember spending hours with Paco, trying to figure out ways. I remember voting to cede our authority for dispatch, and then it didn't go through, and it was just.
And I mean,
it's just really sad.
The night when we had the conversation, or you had the conversation, you guys had the conversation first at City Council, and when all of that was decided, and then JD and I had a conversation here on Aired Out with Tom about it and what the withdrawal meant, and he too felt the same as you, sadness that it just didn't work.
Yeah, it is sad. I think it is. And then we've got Article 4, which is the authorization of all the different items, that we've had in the past, such as the Barre Area Senior Center, the Barre Heritage Festival, Capstone, Central Vermont Public or Basic Adult Education, Central Vermont Council on Aging, Central Vermont Home Health Hospice, Circle, which was formerly the Better Women's Shelter, Community Harvest of Central Vermont, Down Street Housing and Community Development. Oh, we give them $5,000 on top of their $250 that we gave. It was not nice of me.
No,
Family Center of Washington
You're just going
County.
to wind me up and then be upset that I speak again.
Good Beginnings of Central Vermont, Good Samaritan Haven, Green Mountain Transit, Mosaic, formerly Sexual Assault Crisis Team, Our House, Retired Senior and Volunteer Program, Vermont Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired, Vermont Center for Independent Living, Washington County Diversion Program, Washington County Youth Service Bureau Boys and Girls Club. One article. If you support those, and I know the question that people ask is, well, I support one of them, but I don't support the other. So what we found was that people were voting for everything. So instead of filling up the ballot and,
line by line,
we ended up pushing them together. However, I've got a lot of complaints about that, and a lot of people are not happy. They actually like being able to make decisions on each item. So perhaps this year we can have that conversation about that, and maybe we shouldn't do the automatically you're put on the ballot thing anymore. And if you want to get on the ballot, you got to get the signatures.
And some did have to do that. Some needed to get the signatures to get put on the ballot. And that was why. Like Rainbow Bridge, Amy's Armoire. Why did those people needed to, and it was because they didn't go through the process,
right? So
as they were supposed to,
right? So part of the whole thing with getting your name on there automatically is that you have to send Carol an email. There's like forms you have to fill out. You have to send in certain documents. All of that needs to go in there, and like you said, the People's Health and Wellness Clinic didn't do it, and Washington County Mental Health didn't do it.
Right.
Both of them were, there were some COVID issues, still employees.
COVID issues, and we had a huge snowstorm, and the shelters were open, and a lot of things were closed, and and people were without power for days and days and days. I know that was the case of one of them, anyways. I know that's why she didn't finish, was because she was home with her kids and no power and all kinds of things that were kind of came in right at the deadline. And when we all do it, we all wait until the last minute for some things, and then, oh shit, the last minute is here and we're out of time. We can't do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But you guys gave them grace and allowed them in, and
but they are on as a separate item, so
right.
people will be able to make a decision on whether or not they want to be able to support those two organizations. And then finally, we've got Barre Area Development,
Article 7,
which is shall the Barre City voters authorize the expenditure of $20,482 to Barre Area Development, in addition to the amount of $60,853 included in the FY24 general fund. That was a last minute adjustment to that item there, to put in there that there was $60,000. I knew the reason why. The reason why was because it was just, to me, I felt like it was underhanded. But then again, I also believe in transparency. So, there's nothing wrong with people knowing the additional information. So I was like, yeah, sure. But that is the $20,000 that helps pay for Shannon Alexander's position
for marketing.
And marketing is important, right? When you're doing development, it's kind of important to have that. There was no Nicholas did not, and I want to repeat this and make it very clear, Nicholas did not weigh in on the ballot item.
Mm-hmm.
He said he didn't want it in the budget that he created. Right. That was his thing, but he did not weigh in on the ballot item, which was probably a very, very good move.
Right.
Because it would just, upset someone, and that was probably a wise decision.
This again is something that is, it's very important, and it goes to the vitality of the city and bringing more things here. I hear all the time, it's dead down there. Well, you and I were at a hockey game a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking to somebody local who said Barre's a ghost town, and had some negative things to say. How nice would it be to continue to get that negativity to go away and bring better things here and bring more business here? And we talked to Shannon and Ame both not too long ago, and they talked about some different businesses that are wanting to come here from out of state, and also the Burlington area that are strongly looking at Barre City as the place to be. The housing development on top of Prospect Street, which would be, I guess, pinned as Prospect Heights.
Yep.
But to be able to market those things, we need somebody to do it. We need somebody to make those videos and take those photos and really make this seem like the greatest place in the world to be. And
I agree.
Apparently things are the way they are right now because nobody's been marketing it all that well. And so if we can have somebody with Shannon's expertise and class, I don't know. It is a win-win because of what it brings back. It's kind of like the options tax. At first you go, yeah, I don't want anything to do with that. But look what your return is from that. You guys have a dollar figure this year now, right? That the options tax brought?
Did we get that back yet? I didn't think it was going to come back.
Well, I thought you guys had like a close, I guess, estimation of what it might be. I thought you guys said that on council meeting a couple of weeks ago. No?
Yeah, we haven't gotten it yet.
But the city is getting back from it. You're getting back from it from all the people that come. And you pay it out no matter where you go.
Right.
Or all around you. And same thing. Why travel all the way to Burlington to go to a store if you could go to it right here?
Yeah, exactly. Trying to find the advertisement.
Which one?
The video? Vote yes, but I think it's on Shannon's page.
The video or the
vote yes.
Yeah, because I have one too.
There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and share this. Oh, I think desktop audio is already on. Oh. Transition. Here, we'll just rewind this. Sorry, folks. I'm obviously computer illiterate at times.
You are having a challenging time this evening.
I am having a challenging time. So this is just a couple slides that Shannon put through. Not slides, but pictures of the work that they're involved in and how important Article 7 is to continue this work. And there's MA.
Yeah, there are so many reasons why.
Yeah.
But we would like to see something different where Newberry's is. You're
it would
not
be nice.
Kidding.
That would be nice.
This is the team to maybe do it.
This is true.
This
is the team, and then MA comes up and Shannon Alexander. Good timing.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
some pretty fierce women. Like I said, very
absolutely.
fierce women. They have
Absolutely.
this vision and a strength and just a class about them that,
That's
I mean,
true.
we need it. We need it.
I agree.
It at first, yes, it's money. It's money coming out, but it's going to bring it back.
I completely agree with that.
It's worth the investment.
The Prospect Heights project alone is like $1 million some odd dollars in tax revenue.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. So anyway, moving on to the article 1 for the backside of the ballot, which says, shall the voters of Central Vermont Public Safety Authority, pursuant to blah, 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 vote to dissolve. So that's the second part of that Public Safety Authority withdrawal, and now we're dissolving it. And then, of course, the most important one is the school board position here on the Barre Beat. I mean, you've got 2 Barre Beat podcast members, Michael Booten and Sarah Hellman, and there's also Ben Moore and Christopher Roberts. We did reach out to, well, I didn't.
I did.
Raylene reached out to them. Mm-hmm. Have you been able to get any response?
I have not gotten any response from either one of them.
Yeah. I know that I was told during the last in November that Barre Beat is, because my politics are known, people won't come on the Barre Beat. So, which is kind of funny considering the fact
you
that
wouldn't have even been in the building.
Exactly. I wouldn't have been in the building.
We could have called the show something else for that night.
This is true. This is very true. We certainly could have.
Yeah. But we do invite everyone. And we are respectful enough that Michael excuses himself, just as if he was voting for something on city council. He will excuse himself if need be, and he does the same thing when he's here. If you just respectfully do that. You go, you don't come. I am here, and we let them choose a moderator of their choice. It's literally the building. That's it. And me running the controls, because that has to happen. One of us needs to run the control. We couldn't unlock the door and say, okay, Ben, come in and sit there and do a show, because he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. The location of the location is not that important. It's the moderator that I personally care about. There's a reason why I chose Sarah, right, to moderate mine, because Sarah Pregent, right. She is, she was going to handle it fairly. She was not going to be, she was just going to be fair, right? And I truly believe that. And it was very obvious she was. So, that's what I appreciated. 'Cause I could have gone to someone on my side, right? Someone that definitely is.
Well, we could have, could have just, you could have had one of your friends. I mean, you could have had your mother come in here and ask if you wanted to do your show.
I wanted to be challenged. And I knew that Sarah would challenge me. But I also trusted her judgment. And so I know that I think the League of Women's Voter of Vermont is putting together some sort of forum. I told, and Lauren was involved in it, and I told her that, if Steve Pappas was the moderator, I'm perfectly fine with it. The newspaper is a nonpartisan organization. It doesn't pitch for anything except for freedom of speech and transparency,
and prior to this Barre Values movement, let's call it, didn't the Times Argus and didn't Steve do a lot of these debates. I mean,
Yeah.
we were in the same boat with state elections as well, where people were saying, no, I'm not coming. I'm not going to do that. I won't. No, I'm not even going to do it if Steve does it. I'm only going to. So
our senators didn't. Our senators, Ann Cummings, Andrew Perchlik, Ann Watson, Paul Bean, and oh no.
Hold on, let me think too.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
That's really terrible. I feel really bad. I feel really bad. For the life of me, I cannot.
That we just
completely spaced on I think, isn't it Derek? Darren? No, it's not that.
We had a lot of them in here. We had 7 or 8 of them in here all at once. We had to run 2 tables, way more mics than we're used to. It was actually a really good night to have them all.
And I can't remember his name, and I feel really bad. Anybody out there that can remember I can't.
We had him on our show too.
I know.
I can't remember.
This is really bad.
I have
for
Paul
the life
stuck
of me,
in my head. That's
it's
why.
not.
And
it's not Paul. It's,
but
I have his sign on my porch. It's a green sign, license plate. I can't think of it.
Well, you have to move on, and then you'll think of it in a second,
This is
and then
true.
you can just blurt it out.
This is very true.
But anyways, we have had everyone on. We let them choose their own moderator, and I showed everyone the same courtesy that I watch for people that are, making comments that are not necessary. I will not let somebody be vulgar. I will not let somebody be attacked, and I do what I can to make sure that doesn't happen and shut it down immediately.
Yeah.
The commenter, not the entire show, but shut the commenter down immediately. And I would show that same courtesy to anyone that was here.
Yep.
And so it is unfortunate, Connie, that they don't all come, because we certainly welcome them, and we do try to find a way to work around it and make it work best for them.
Yeah. But it is what it is. Huh?
Chris?
No, it wasn't Chris. I can't.
Now I'm trying to think
I did
all
see
the people that we had to.
I went to the fight, the MMA fight on Saturday, and I saw Seth Keeley, who also came in, and he was like, "Hey, Michael," and I'm like,
"Do I know you?"
I know. Well, I knew him, and I was just like, "I know who this is." And then I was like, "Oh yeah!" And as he was walking away, he introduced me to his wife, and as he was walking away, I was like, "Oh, it's Seth. That's right." And anyway, so then I immediately went online and friend requested him, so that I could, probably forget his name later on or something, like I'm doing for the other Senate candidate that I just can't think of for the life of me. So, and then, there is on the ballot as well, the budget, right? Let me pull that up there. The school budget, which is shall the voters of, actually, no, I take that back. That's Article 2 is shall the voters of Barre Unified School District authorize the district to borrow money, spending receipt of monies from the state education fund by issuance of notes or orders payable not later than 1 year from the date. So a lot of people are a little confused by that. And I've heard some narratives which are wildly inaccurate, which is about, I think I heard someone say that article is because of the 1%. And no, it's not. That's an RAN. It's a revenue anticipation note, similar to a tax anticipation note, which is what the municipality does. Because, as most people know, you pay taxes 4 times a year. right?
We do.
And you are sending in that money 4 times a year, and sometimes that money that you're sending in there's like a gap in time for when the municipality or the school needs it. So they do charge at that time, but then immediately pay it down. It's like a Federal Express kind of thing. It's Federal Express, isn't it Federal? No, it's not Federal Express. What's the Express card? Express. It's like the green card. It's like the card that, all the rich people have.
American Express?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I didn't know that only rich people could have the American Express, but okay.
I don't know. I can't pay my credit card off immediately, so I can't have it. So anyway, that's what that is. It's not anything to do with the budget. That's there because it's a normal thing that's there. Although I am surprised that they have to do it. We do not have to do it for the municipality. So it must be some sort of school thing. And then of course, the budget. The budget. Shall the voters of Barre Unified Union School District approve the school board expend $53,963,133, which is the amount of the school board has determined to be necessary for ensuing fiscal year. It is estimated that the proposed budget, if approved, will result in an education spending of $17,000 per equalized pupil. This projected spending per equalized pupil is 6% higher than spending for the current year, which last year it was 5.9. I think it was higher than the previous year. So but it equals a 1.5% increase in the budget.
This is the first time ever, I believe, in my voting years of life that I have ever heard people say, don't vote yes for the budget because it's not enough.
So, man,
I really, really, truly invite people to take the time to really look at it, and give it serious thought, like the whole thing. Even go back and watch some board meetings that can be extremely brutal sometimes, I know, but educate yourselves a bit before.
I think the last finance committee meeting was pretty educational. I think it was the last one. It might be the one before, but I'm pretty sure it was the last one.
That you were on the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the other night.
Yeah. I'm on almost all of them.
Right.
I go to every single one of those boards. Well, not that I don't.
So do I, and I don't have to.
I know.
So I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. God. But
and Connie
really,
makes a comment here. I just want to point this out. If we want people to move to Barre, we need to get our scores up. And Connie, I completely agree with you. I think our scores are probably in the teens for Barre City, which are proficiency scores. I might be wrong on that, but they were in the 20s, if I recall, last year. And from what I heard, Chris Hennessy said that they're worse this year. You can only go into the teens to be worse. So
right, that's sad.
Yeah.
And we did learn, or I learned actually last week, we had Alice Farrell and Sarah Hellman both here. And it was Alice who because there was a conversation during that show. Somebody had written in a question about the school books and how old they were. And some of them were, signed by me when I was in school. And how do you teach new math out of a book that is? Well, we shouldn't. We're not talking how math. Old. I know math. I don't like new math at all. When my kids were in school, I had to get a tutor for them because I did not understand new math. I wasn't taught that way. But anyways,
wait a minute. Hold up. Wait. No, no. That's it. let's just talk about this just for a minute. Our proficiency scores are going down teaching new math.
Right.
I mean, I'm
new
just
lots
saying,
of things. New lots of things.
Right. I'm not saying that's the reason why, but I am going to say that they are going down, and I wonder, maybe we should check into that and just ask the question. I'm not saying that's the answer, but I do want to ask the question.
Well, that amongst a lot of things. Maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Maybe we should be better about discipline, and maybe we should be better about it's okay to say no, and it's okay to give one person an award and not everybody an award. And, there's a whole gamut of things that we won't talk about now that I know that we're on CCV TV, because we won't be able to have our show on there. But
I still have the ability to edit it.
But so you can take out the F-bomb.
I'm not going to take out the F-bomb.
All right.
I'll just tell Tony.
Yeah, and Tony knows anyways. He knows that I do that sometimes. But in all seriousness, I learned when watching the show, and I urge people to watch it, that because it was the perception that there hasn't been enough money to buy books, new books, in the budget. And I was really appalled to know that that's not at all so, that the money has been in the budget always, and that the department heads just aren't spending it.
Yeah.
If they wanted books, they could order books and have books. And that's really not good. Needs to be looked at.
Simplified version of what I think this is all about?
Yes.
So I don't really know much about the budget, meaning I don't know the ins and outs. One, I don't see an actual line by line budget. But that being said, it makes me think about our taxes, right? When you do a W-4, you either claim one or you claim none, right? I claim none because I like having my money at the end of the year. And I feel like our school board said we're going to claim one, and we're not going to get all that money at the end of the year.
Right.
But we haven't been really doing anything with that money at the end of the year. So,
Well, and now there's a surplus, and a pretty significant one.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying, though, is that they're, at the end of the year, they're not going, when they file the taxes, they're not going to get that surplus.
Right.
Next year. The concern that I have about voting no on the budget, and this is what I tried to explain, is whether or not you agree with a 1.5. And I've been multiple times I've made the comment that if I was on the school board at the time, I probably would have done a 3.5 to get everybody on board to support the budget and push it through. Last year it was a 1.95, and the year before that, I can't remember, but the year before that, we failed the budget 3 times. Or no, 2 times. And the last time it was in June. And if we had waited one more month, we would have been cut down to 87%. And that's a scary proposition.
That is.
Very. So we have already pushed out the budget till April/May at this moment, if it fails. Which if that happens, right? We have to move forward with that. But I don't like backing myself into a corner. It does make me feel a little concerned about that, but we'll see how the vote goes. I wouldn't give. I'm not going to say on air what I would suggest people do, except for talk to both sides. Don't just listen to the loudest ones in the room or the people on one side. Always get both sides. There was a lady at the finance committee meeting that went up to both sides. I know that she talked to Sonia, and I know that she talked to Paul and and Nancy. There was multiple conversations. And yes, Connie, you are correct. The board members that you can vote for, it's not more than 2. So you can vote for 2 people. And of course, I hope you vote for me. But
yes.
Anyway.
And you can have that shameless plug tonight because we're the only 2 here. So correct. you can say that tonight.
Plug. I can. And then the last one on this is, shall the school district authorize the board to transfer $2.3 million, which is that surplus from this year or last year
into the next
that was
year.
audited, and put it into the capital funds and assign $456 to the Spalding High School asbestos remediation and $350 to the Barre City roofing, and $719 to prepay the Spalding High School lighting upgrade lease. So that's the ballot. And then there's one other ballot. Sadly, last year we voted to lose control of the Central Vermont Career Center. That's what it is. We lost control. We decided to do that. So now on there is a at-large position, Lyman Castle. That's your option. And at-large position, you have an option of Terry Steele. That's your option. You don't have an option. You either vote for them or you don't.
Right, or you
don't write somebody in.
Right.
And then they're voting on their budget, which is $4,135,000. So that is probably, even if Barre City failed it, it would probably pass because we no longer have the deciding vote on that.
That goes to each community, correct? It's voted on in East Montpelier.
Yep.
Waitsfield, is it? No.
I think it's all Central Vermont.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once you fill out your ballots, what you'll do is you'll take them, put them in this envelope right here.
Check again to make sure it's signed and all of that.
Make sure that it's signed and dated. Put them in there. You will lick them, seal it, and then from here, you'll put it into this envelope. Lick it. Seal it. Put a stamp on there. And then mail it to City Hall. Or you can drop it off in the drop box. Or you can bring it into Carol's office and she'll gladly take it. And I'm sure any justice of the peace would just drop it off at Carol's office. Now that it's just better to drop it off at Carol's office
or
put it in the ballot box.
Or bring it with you the day of.
Yeah. And you can drop it off then as well. Mm-hmm. Which is March 7th at the Barre Auditorium from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And in Barre Town, it is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the school. So,
and we are all crossing our fingers for a nice weather day.
Yes, because I really don't want to
vote. Even if you've never voted before, if you voted for many years and then you stop voting because you think it doesn't matter anymore, you're wrong. It matters. It matters a lot. Matter. Please vote.
Yep. So back to city council stuff, because we still do have some stuff there. We did have the mayoral proclamation. This is from last council meeting. Mayoral proclamation honoring Sue Higbee. She's been with us
you gave another key away.
I know.
I've never seen so many damn keys being given away in my life.
The last key, Tom's got a real key, the key to the city, and now I'm going to pull it up because I actually have a picture of it.
Yes, I want to see this. I have lived here my whole life, and I've never seen so many keys given away to the city before.
It's like Oprah. Like, you get a key.
Like, holy shit, we open the doors. Here we go.
That's okay. Next year we'll change the locks.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
that
gosh.
wasn't very nice.
Yeah, and you're worried about me.
I know. That's okay. Let's see. So Tom, Miss Lozon.
Yeah, I mean, truly, I've never seen that happen so much before.
Yeah, it's definitely quite a bit, but it, I mean, like Finn getting it, that was pretty awesome. So I'll show the picture of Tom with his key.
Now that's a big ass key.
Yeah, that is a pretty large key.
Let me see. I love it.
It's pretty awesome.
I love it.
That was when he retired as a mayor. I'm so glad he's back on city council.
Me too. But I wish he'd run for mayor.
And then, of course, we had the letter of recognition for the Barre partnership. Jake read that letter from Governor Scott, which was amazing.
Yes, it was
super awesome for Tracy.
Yeah, she did a great job.
She did. She
well
did an
deserved.
Amazing job.
Well
yes,
deserved. And
absolutely.
to be recognized how beautiful the city looked for the holiday season.
Yeah.
And then I say how it looks all the time because she did a great job for the holidays, but we really need to keep them around.
Yeah, I agree.
Saying that one more time before we go because
we actually have
they are really, really important.
Yeah. And then, of course, we approved the approval of the Capital Fire Mutual Aid MOU, which is just a normal perfunctory thing. Tomorrow night, we only have one thing on the agenda, and it's the ARPA funds. And with that, folks, we want to wish you... No, I'm just kidding. So we're going to be talking about the ARPA funds. Yeah, wish you a Merry Christmas. We're going to be talking about, how we're going to spend those funds on the different things that were put in there for options. Central Vermont CVTV programming, they wanted $300,000, I believe. Meals on Wheels, they wanted to do buy EV vehicles to the tune of $221,000. Install lighting on the Bond Field to the tune of $150,000. Obviously, we're not going to be able to cover these. There's no way that we're going to be able to cover them, just based on the fact that there's not enough money.
Right. Some things will get done, or a little bit of a lot of things, and then people will have to raise funds on their own for the remainder.
Yeah. And so the Barre Opera House external light project, which is really interesting because years ago, I know I do too. So years ago, we had that was pitched to the Semper Bond Fund Committee, and they supported it, the Semper Bond Fund Committee, but it never came to fruition. So maybe it could now. Which would be kind of nice. Then we've got the Turning Point Center restoration, which is $50K. Athletic field upgrade study for Spalding High School, $40K. Walk through to Main Street art project. That's going to be $37,000. So let me say what that is. That's folks that know the walkway in between Merchant Row and Main Street. It's right next to the TD Bank. Right next to the Blanchard block where Delicate Decadence is in. On the other side, there's TD Bank. It's kind of dingy walkway.
It is, but I think that we could do some lights and paint and let local children from the schools do stuff in there, paintings, flowers, whatever, for a lot less than that. Yeah. We have a drug crisis in the city. I'm not sure if anybody knows that or not, but just, I'm just saying. And so my money would be to Turning Point before it went to that. I mean, I agree it would be nice to have lights in there, make it look a little nicer so that you weren't so afraid to run through there. But, yeah, we have a drug crisis in the city, and maybe we should be throwing some money at that. Mental health.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah,
We've got...
I'm just saying.
The Rainbow Bridge requested $25,000. Additional services for Central Vermont Adult Basic Education, so operational support, $20,000. The Sage Mountain After School and Nature Program operation, $20,000. Old Labor Hall facility upgrades and lift upgrade. One is $15,000. The other is $19,000. Circle Women's Shelter Technology upgrade. That's going to be $18,000. And Barre Area Senior Center Visual Media Center upgrades, which is going to be $12,000. So
many of them I would give money to.
I know.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That is super tough because there's a lot of great things in that list.
Yeah. So we're going to discuss the process, and more than likely there will be additional applications required, because it didn't really... I'm going to want a PowerPoint presentation with slides and everything else.
Right. Of course you are.
Of course.
Of course.
I love that stuff,
Ugh.
I know. But, Nicholas had put in there, like, that certain amount is going to be covered on this type of project, and just going through and adding some, ideas of what should we be doing for prioritization and all that stuff. I have to ask the question, should we be prioritizing things that are going out of our community, right? Things that are not benefiting Barre City, because it is Barre City's money. Yes. And, I don't know how I feel about, giving money to outside of the city.
It depends.
Right. It does.
There are some things that the city, whether they're outside of the city or not, the city benefits from them, just like people outside of the city benefit from things that the partnership does.
Right.
So we have to recognize that as well, that we may go to the Bond Field. Is the Bond Field in Barrytown or Barre City?
It's in Barrytown.
That's what I thought. And so, but we have a lot of Barre City kids that play up there, and a lot of families that go up there to enjoy time. And so,
it'll be an interesting conversation for sure.
It is.
But that's the only thing that's on the agenda tomorrow night.
There is.
Except for the possibility of me adding on the Barre Partnership and BDC.
You really should. I hope that you do. I won't be there for the entire meeting. I will end up coming in late, but I'm going to be at the select board meeting in the town of Berlin tomorrow.
Ooh.
And working on some stuff with them. I can't really talk about it, but that's where I'll be tomorrow. And then I'll tune in as soon as I'm done. But
nice.
Yeah. So.
Well, do you want to let people know that there's going to be a
special episode on Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. and that will be with Tim Bolton, who is running for City Council Ward 1.
Yep, and Gina wasn't able to make it tonight. We wanted to wait for her, but it looks like she wasn't able to make it. But she's going to be coming every other week.
And Raylene is super fidgety. Have you not noticed?
Are you?
That I'm wicked fidgety. Can we tell people why I keep moving around so much? Because I fell on Friday night and I got hurt.
Yeah.
And these seats suck.
I did not notice that. I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Well, so you don't have to be sorry. I should have known better. If I was going to be up here by myself, I would have brought the black chair, though.
Yeah.
Tomorrow when I'm here, it's definitely coming over here because these things are not working for me.
No.
But yeah, I fell and got pretty banged up. So.
But you're feeling better?
I am feeling better. Yeah. Thank goodness.
Better.
Thank goodness I am. Thank goodness. That was something else. I'm getting old, I guess. At least I didn't break a hip or something, right? They say once you do that, your whole life goes downhill.
Yes.
Everything goes to hell if you break a hip.
If you break a hip.
Yeah. So.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. Raylene, thank you for always being
Thanks
here.
for having me and putting up with my tongue. You know, that gets out of hand sometimes, but
thanks to the CVTV people that are watching as well. Super excited about that.
I love you, Tony.
Yes, we love you, Tony. And of course, everyone that's watching tonight, thank you for watching the Barry Beat podcast live from Fly on the Wall Productions and Main Street, Barry, Vermont. With that, have a great evening.
Have a great night, guys.